The feud with the HOA had escalated over years, each Karen trying to assert control over property that wasn't theirs. But Karen number 15, self-appointed queen of entitlement, had truly outdone herself. She actually believed that my land belonged to her. Not a portion, not a strip, not a driveway. My entire property, including the lakefront, the cabins, and even the small wooded grove behind the main house. It started with a letter, delivered by a courier who looked half afraid of the envelope's contents. Karen claimed ownership, demanding that I remove fences, surrender docks, and allow her HOA friends to freely access every part of my land. She even threatened to take it to court if I resisted. I read the letter, setting it down calmly on the kitchen counter. My wife leaned over and whispered, "She can't actually think she owns this." I smiled, pulling the deed from a locked drawer. It was crisp, notarized, and filed with the county. 100% ownership of every square foot of the property in my name, inherited and lawfully documented for decades. This wasn't negotiation, it was proof, absolute and irrefutable. The confrontation was inevitable. I called Karen, inviting her to the property under the guise of discussion. She arrived, flanked by 2 HOA allies, faces alight with the arrogance of someone convinced of victory. They strutted across my driveway, pointing and gesturing as if the fences and signage were invisible. I stepped out, badge clipped to my jacket, deed in hand. "Karen," I said calmly, "you've made a series of false claims. Let's resolve this quickly." Her smile faltered, but she tried to maintain composure. "This is HOA property. You don't have rights." I held up the deed. "Actually," I said, voice firm and controlled, "this is the legal record of ownership. Every inch of this land, every structure, every dock, belongs to me. You are trespassing." Her face turned red, a mixture of embarrassment, anger, and disbelief. Her allies looked at each other nervously, suddenly aware that their intimidation tactics were meaningless against undeniable legal proof. I walked her along the property line, pointing to the signs, the fences, the recorded maps, and the historical documentation. Every time she tried to argue, I countered calmly with fact after fact, legal precedent after legal precedent. Within minutes, the illusion of HOA authority collapsed entirely. By the time she retreated to her car, the lesson was crystal clear. Entitlement cannot trump law. The neighbors who had gathered discreetly to watch the exchange whispered among themselves, amazed at how decisively the confrontation had been resolved. Back on the porch, I sat with my wife and daughter, watching the sun glint off the lake. Karen number 15 had learned, in the most public and undeniable way possible, that my land was mine. Every subsequent HOA attempt to challenge property boundaries would now be met not with anger, but with preparation, authority, and the undeniable power of documented ownership. That day, the message resonated not just through the HOA but through the neighborhood. Trespass, arrogance, and entitlement could not defeat the law, and no Karen, no matter how determined, could override proof, preparation, and the calm authority of someone defending what was rightfully theirs.